The second part of the spreadsheet I want to show you is the team section. It's at the bottom, okay? And so the one on the left there, what that's doing is that is using what's called a large function, okay, to gather, if you will, the top 9. Now, you say top 9, but the National League, of course, only uses 8 hitters in the pitcher. Yeah, that's a problem. I'll acknowledge it. I don't have a great solution for it, and I don't want to rate 2 different spreadsheets, one for the National League, one for the American League. So what ends up happening in a lot of teams is it can slightly underrate the National League because they're not building around having 9 hitters, they're building around having 8. Anyway, so you can see there, not the names, but the scores of my top 9 hitters. And they are adding up at the bottom, that 1,045. And what this is saying is that my team is projected to score 1,045 or 6.79 runs a game. Okay. Same thing with the pitching. Average ERAs. Okay. Now, they used to just end there, but of course, there was way too much variance. And in looking at it, well, what was the problem? And the problem was that it was treating the relievers like the starters, and of course, that's not right. Starters just get a lot more innings. So that's where, as I said over here, this last AK and AL, and I'm just doing a little bit of math there to figure out the average number of runs in another way using that AK, that's their stamina. I probably should figure out a way to use the durability too, but I don't. And stamina is more important than durability in terms of number of innings that someone pitches, for reasons I don't want to go into here. And so what it does is that you see that 3.72, that's 3.7072. Okay, and that's it figured out in one way. You see that 3.91 there. That's it figured out another way. I average them. I come up with a 3.81 as the average ERA there. And doing a little bit of math there, I get to a projected run differential of 673.88. Now, yeah, we'll get to it. That it won't be that differential. One of the things over they've tweaked with the engine over time a little bit, and it has gotten a little more pro hitting, so my hitting numbers are coming in a little higher than they should, although my pitching numbers are still pretty accurate. So I'll show you massaging that out later in the process. And the other thing is that people run extreme teams differently. Most people will curtail off at the end if they've already clinched. And so they'll stop running their best hitters out. And so anyway, just because you see a run differential of almost 400 there, it's unlikely it'll be quite that high. That said, if it was a run differential of 100, I would say that's probably pretty accurate. So the ones at the extremes tend to be a little higher than they really actually are for some reasons having to do with that. So that is this team section there. I'm going to film another one in just a second.